All right, Kenman here, and today we have a sweet knife from Miguron. This was sent to me by KevinSmithandKnives. We met up at Blade Show, Texas, about a month ago, and he sent me a little bag of swag and some cool stuff. This was in there. Let's check it out. Thanks to KevinSmithandKnives for sending me this sweet Miguron box. On the floor, there it is. Remaining box on the floor. We're getting right to it. Today we are looking at the Miguron Centurion. Boom. Look at this beauty. We've been talking in lives and online and stuff, and Kevin knew that I hadn't had a chance to check one of these out yet. I do have a few Migurons, and basically thought it'd be cool to send it up to me. I appreciate it. Thanks again. And man, this knife is sweet. Many reasons why. Haven't had a chance to really carry it yet, but I did test it out a little bit. And then it was in my video. I'll link down in the description of the care package that they sent me. But what are we looking at here today? This is the Miguron Centurion. 14C28N on the blade steel right there. And then we have a G10 handle with a nice kind of contour, smooth finish to it. Got a titanium clip, which is cool. A lot of Migurons, they throw that titanium clip on there. Nice little addition. Flipper tab, thumb studs, flicks out. Huge hollow grind on a beefy blade. Oh, this thing is great. Blade is centered nicely. Solid, no movement, no play. Nice little liner lock in there. The liner lock does stick up a little bit, or it's recessed more down on this side, so you can kind of see it's a little bit higher right there. There's a good angle of it. Easy access to get in there. Drops nice and just straight down. Great action on this thing. Look at that. Straight to the thumb. Flips out really easy. Oh, just swings shut really, really well. So no jimps whatsoever. You know I love a good jimp. But there's a little harpoon ramp right there. So your thumb kind of sits in that spot. And that becomes like one giant jimp for your thumb to kind of rest in. There is kind of a choke up spot. I thought it looked like it wasn't really, more of just kind of a sharpening choil, but I can get in there and squeeze pretty tight and not get bit right there. Sometimes if it's not really for that, it's going to cut your finger, but I can get in there pretty tight, and that is a forward kind of a choke up. Look at all that extra handle on the back. I have a larger hand, so I get a full grip on this. When I get in here, this could be a little bit higher. They kind of made that groove a little large, so it kind of sits close to the peak. My finger actually sits right here rather than on the peak. If it were to sit on the peak, that would kind of be a hot spot. But whenever they make specific finger grooves, it's not going to fit everyone's hand exactly. But man, this does feel really nice, and the action is incredible. Try to fail, and it still flips out. The detent is nice on this. Check it out. Boom. Solid. You can't talk this thing when you try to get it going. It pretty much, the only reason it stopped is because my finger pressed up against it there. It's a nice, great action. Okay, what am I missing here? We've got a little back spacer, G10 back spacer, a little jimping on there to grab on. Clip cannot be swapped to the other side, so no real love for the lefties. But that's okay. I carry it in different pockets. It's kind of an interesting little design feature here. Almost looks like that'd be where the thumb studs catch into, like stops, but the thumb stud's way up there. I don't mind it. It's just an interesting design why they just went for those little extra little bumps. But that's kind of a thing. You draw it up, you kind of envision whatever you want. You can kind of make this rounded or make it square, flat right there, and that's just where the designer ended up. I like that they have a captive pivot on there. Got the Miguron logo on this side. Then you just get in there with one tool. It says 14C28N on the blade right there. Other than that, no branding. Nice and clean. One screw and one pivot on this side. And then the same on this side, but you got two for the clip. That is some clean design. Minimal hardware. All right, I've been doing some paper cut tests. Oh. Trying to get real close. Look at that though. All right, there it tore, but I'm trying to make shavings and it's not working. A couple of them that I've done, I've been able to get some squigglies like this. And that was what I was trying to do. But if we just get in there, oof, it is slicey. Very nice, especially with this large blade. Look at how long it is this way. That hollow, ugh, feels really good. I love it. All right. Get some measurements here. We got a full-size knife over 8 inches. 8 1/8 end to end. Blade is just under 3.5. You could call it, it's over 3.5 up there. Obviously 3 3/4 are all getting pushing 4 all the way to the end of the choil right there, but that's a cross angle. Straight across, you're looking at about 3.5 inch blade. We have a 3 3/4, or no, 3.5. Well, it does curve around, but a little more than 3.5 inch curve belly on the cutting surface. Words, okay. And 4 5/8 for that handle length. All right. Definitely a full size. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I was measuring screws, hanging some stuff up in the room here. 0.1413. So 1.3. And that 1.3 thickness carries out to about there. You got a swedge there, and then the grind on this side. Big old curve on that belly, and just a thick blade. Oh, I like it. Looks like it is a two-tone finish. You got one finish right there. You can kind of see at this angle. And then another one up in that area there. Just gives it a little extra fanciness. 0.57 on the handle thickness. Gets in tight there at 8.8. This thicker spot, 1.02. Thickest part of the blade, 1.09. Is this battery ever going to die? The answer is no. Full size. Not too terribly heavy, but just over 4.5, 4.57. Compare everything with the drop bear, 3.29. I have a couple other Migurons. Here's the Miguron, 3.97, and the big Valona, 5.29. 4.57 kind of falls right in between them there. I think that's a good weight, good size for a carry. This would be just one that I would probably use a lot if I wasn't carrying many different knives and testing new knives all the time. It kind of makes it hard for me to have something that I carry on a regular basis, just because I'm always testing out new ones. So the Miguron Miguron is a great, not quite full size, kind of bug out killer size. You can see the handle is just a little bit shorter, and blade is just a little bit shorter there on the Miguron. We have the other Miguron, the Valona. The Valona is a beast. They also sell a Valona, I don't know if they call it a small or a medium. This is the one that they came out with first. And then more recently, they released the smaller version. But look at how long and big this one is. Fantastic. Why would you not? Because it's huge. So we got to beat. Valona is definitely longer by a 1/2 inch or more on the 1/2 inch on the handle, and maybe a 1/2 to 3/4 on the blade. Beast, still drops shut. For under $100, semi-budget knives, Miguron is crushing it. Here is the Kaiser Drop Bear, one of my favorite daily carry EDCs. No nonsense, great user. This is a bug out killer. Same sizes like your bug outs and your pyrites, and you're just real common, not quite full size carry. Get in a little bit closer here. So you can see the Centurion is a good 1/2 inch or more bigger on both the front and the back. So definitely a full size over 8 inch. But not too much more ridiculous or crazy large that you couldn't be something that's good for a daily carry. I'd carry it. Does anyone? Anyone else have one of these? Carry it all the time? Something about the action. The drop is really nice. It's satisfying flick out. Good sound. Snappy. Just feels good in the hand. I dig it. This thing is great. Thanks again to KevinSmithandKnives for sending this to me. I will continue to enjoy it. What Migurons do you have? Which one is your favorite? Which one should I check out next? Let me know in the description or in the comments. Good times. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.